Hello and welcome to another episode of Mari's Golden Hour. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I want to check in and find out, how was your New Year's? The New Year's Eve, the New Year's Day. Was it okay? Was it grand? Was it just chill and safe and sane? Mine was the latter. It was completely chill. It was so chill that I was pretty sleepy at around 6:30 in the evening and ready to just conk out and call it a night. But basically I hit a wall, and I was go for weeks all throughout December, and come January 1st I had every intention of getting up early and taking on the day, but something happened where I was like, nope, my body was done. And it's not that I got sick or anything, but I think just mentally and emotionally, I hit a wall and I needed a break. And so I took one, and I think I might even take another one tomorrow, and then just get back on that horse on Monday. I think that's what I'm going to do. Came to that conscious decision just now. So thank you for helping me work that out. So, my New Year's Eve wasn't firework show worthy, but it wasn't all that bad. And yeah, I got nothing else to add to that. So, what else did I do? Oh, I did a lot of baking. So going back to Christmas, actually, I had a turkey meal that I froze just for Christmas Day, because I didn't have the time or the space or anything of that sort around Thanksgiving time, just because of what was going on in my personal life. So, not that it was personal, it was just a lot of maintenance that was going on, and I just was not in the mood to deal with cooking. So, anyway, for Christmas, I ended up making my homemade rolls from scratch, and it's based off of my mom's recipe, so it was like, oh, taste of home. Along with the rolls, I made a turkey roulade. I had mashed Parmesan scallop potatoes, and which the latter two I did not make. I have made turkey dinners before, dealing with the stuffing the turkey and basting and all that fun stuff. But yeah, just was not gonna do that this year. What else did I make? Oh, and I made eggnog cookies with an eggnog frosting. And the rolls, along with the eggnog cookies, I call them my healthy-ish creations. Healthy-ish because I made the rolls out of wheat, and the eggnog cookies, they weren't a sugar frosting, but it was more of like a whipped buttercream frosting. And both of them were delicious. Actually, everything was delicious. And for New Year's, did I do this New Year's Eve? No, New Year's Day, I made use out of a gift my sister gave me, and I ended up making a lot. Oh, wait a minute. I can't remember if it was, I think maybe New Year's Eve, I ended up making eggnog French toast. And I ended up using my homemade rolls, like the bread from that, as the bread for my French toast. And it was the bomb! Absolute bomb. And so New Year's Day, I had a taste for waffles. And I thought, okay, I'll make a waffle, maybe 2 waffles. And what started off is me making up a batter for waffles. I ended up making more eggnog French toast so I can keep it in the fridge and, for other breakfasts. And then I made eggnog waffles. I made a veggie omelet along with some smoked turkey. And I ended up just having a little New Year's Day brunch for one. So it was kind of cool. It kind of reminded me of the really fancy brunches I would attend that I was just missing crepes and salmon. But anyway, what else did I do? As far as New Year's Eve is concerned, I pretty much slept through it. Like I mentioned, I ended up getting sleepy at around 6:30 that evening, and I think I was still up at around 11, but I conked out before midnight. So New Year's Day, I got up and checked a bunch of messages that I missed, and along with that, I saw that the Google Doodle for that day, not the doodle itself, but if you were to click on it, like the whatever doodle they had for New Year's Day, I think it was like a bird and kind of chirping out 2021. You click on that and it takes you to like all things Happy New Year's Day or Happy New Year's Eve or whatever. And there's like this little cartoon. I didn't notice it at first, but as I scrolled down looking for something else, I was seeing all this like confetti, and I couldn't understand. I thought, oh, maybe it's an ad or something. I scroll back up and I see that it's this little cartoon, little like cone of confetti, and it has like a little, the lid on it looks like it's breathing, for lack of a better word. And so you press on it and it lets out a little horn toot, of, like for like one of those New Year's Eve horns that they give out. The one that has, it's more of like a high pitched, like sounds like a wailing baby. It's the best way I can describe it, because I don't want to hurt anybody's ears. And then you press it, makes that noise, and it sends out this burst of confetti. And I found myself transfixed by it, and I just kept pressing it and pressing it and pressing it, and I was like a cat with a laser beam. So, yeah, check that out. Let's see, stuff I was listening to this week. Actually, I know I'm going to be repeating some other suggestions that I made last week, but let's see, I don't know if I mentioned this one. The song is called Real Magic, and it's Ricky Reed, Terrace Martin, and St. Panther, and it has like a very 90s vibe, like if you listen to it, if you know your music, you'll hear Quad City DJs in the beat, and the video for it is just a very chill California vibe. It's cool. It's a decent song, and it's just very chill to watch as well. And no bells and whistles. It is just, again, just all chill. I know I mentioned this artist before. Her name is Priya Raghu. The song is called Good Love 2.0. Salt, S-A-U-L-T. Check out the album. It's titled Untitled, but in parentheses, it's Black Is. Just great. Every tune I've heard from them so far, from that album, actually just from the group, it's like just bangers, all of it. And I don't mind a mystery behind the group at all. I welcome that. And let's see, what else? Really anything and all things 9 Inch Nails, I'm down. And visually, though, let's see. Well, I think if I remember correctly, the song is pretty good. It's called Snake Hips, and Aya Bambi. They're this duo, dance duo that they are mind blowing. Just check out the video Snake Hips, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's very visually cool to watch. And another one, just to watch the videos and to watch the choreography, Blackpink, which I'm sure you guys have heard of that group before. If you haven't, then get on that K-pop train. The group, as far as the songs are concerned, they're not bad. I mean, I can see why they've sold a lot of albums. Very pop, very catchy. Some of them have like a little bit of an edge to it, but yeah, I see the popularity, or I can hear the popularity in the songs, or the reasons why they are popular. Visually, though, again, very, very cool with the choreography, and I can see why they are packaged and everybody eats them up. So, movie stuff. A movie that I saw recently, it's called Ginger Snaps. The title sounded familiar. I mean, aside from like the delicious cookie. Or is it a cracker? No, cookie. It's a cookie. Yeah, so I watched it because it was just one of those random YouTube movies that popped up, and I was surprised that I liked it. I went in with zero expectations. All that I knew was from the brief description below that it was basically about werewolves. Well, not werewolves, but it was the consequences of a werewolf bite. So, again, very little, but I watched it and I stayed with it beginning to end. There were a couple parts where I had to like fast forward through it because I just couldn't handle the suspense. I was being that scaredy cat. So, I mean, it's not that intense, but at the time that I was watching it, I'm like, I can't take it. I can't take it. So Ginger Snaps. And then also, the other thing I thought was interesting is that I was surprised that the movie wasn't more of a recent film. Like, in a way, I knew just because of the actors that were involved, it wasn't created yesterday, but I didn't realize that it was made, I think, in the early 2000s. So that is what surprised me, and it's something that I've noticed with some other movies too, which it's a sign of just, I guess, really good production design, costume design, all that stuff. If, the movies, you can't tell when they were made, or they've aged well, Like, I can handle watching Devil Wears Prada again just because it is a fun movie. And all the costumes, I know it's more stylized, but all of the designs that are in there, what they wear, it's timeless items, which I love. Yes, they are designers, but the way that they are cut and styled and everything is put together, all very classic and can be worn in any decade. So, what's the other one? I saw Tenet, which I think I talked about that, and I know that it gets mixed reviews, but I'm glad I watched it. I believe I can watch it again. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I would likely pick up some other things that I hadn't seen before. I do understand where people feel that it's not problematic. I understand why it does get mixed reviews, but I would still recommend it. So, let's see, another one. Now, this is an old one, and I had every intention of watching it, but I think I might try reading the book before I see the movie again. And it's been coming up on my radar lately, more and more. Not too sure why, but and the movie is called Contact. And yes, it is that Contact, the one with Jodie Foster. If you hadn't seen it, please watch it. It's one of those films that, yeah, you can tell when it was made, but, I don't know, there's something that is also timeless about it, and also very relevant, I think. And especially a concept that Carl Sagan came up with. I saw a piece of this in someone else's review about, just explaining Contact in more detail. And something that Carl Sagan had mentioned, I think it was when the Voyager took off and it was in space, and he had them take a picture of our planet. And I'm trying to remember exactly what it said, but I remember he had an arrow, and that was pointing to this little dot, and it said, "This is us here." And basically what he was emphasizing is just how small we all are in the grand scheme of the universe, and it doesn't make any sense for any of the fighting or the bloodshed, any of that, because we are just so tiny. And people fighting for plots of land on this tiny, tiny speck in the universe. It's like, yeah. But, so yeah, I highly recommend watching or rewatching Contact. But my next move with that one, I'm going to read the book. And, cause I never read the book. So that is going to be on my list of things to do. Another one, I know I mentioned this last week. The movie is called Mr. Soul, and that's Mr. Soul with an exclamation mark. And it is awesome. I had a chance to watch it last Sunday, and it lived up to my expectations, very much so. And it is very cool. It is a very cool slice of Black history and media, and I'm surprised that I didn't learn of Ellis Hayslip and that show there's a course that I had to take in college, and basically the requirement at that time, and I don't know if it still holds true, is to take a Black studies course. And so the one that I picked, because it made sense for me at that time, it was African Americans in TV and film. And because I was a theater major and I was into film and all of that, still am. And, but yeah, I'm just surprised that I didn't learn of him and his show. And, so it was fun to watch, and I highly suggest it. If, I believe they are still showing, you can watch it virtually for free. If you go to, MrSoulMovie.com, you can go through them and, be able to watch that movie for free. And I think it'll be up until January 5th, I think. Or maybe the end of this coming week. I'm not too sure, but it won't be up for long. So I've been hearing about this TV show, but I haven't watched it, and I probably won't unless it comes out on DVD or something. The show is called Bridgerton, and it's the Shonda Rhimes, her latest project. Haven't seen it. I have a rough idea of what the premise is about, and I saw a very short trailer. But what my big takeaway from that show are the wigs. The wigs look on point. And like I said, I hear that the show is pretty good. Mixed reviews, but overall it's good. But those wigs, though, oof. And I'm sure the costume's great too, but I just saw those wigs. And my hat, and actually my wigs and my hair pieces are tipped off to whoever designed those wigs and created that, because works of art. Oof, especially those wigs for that queen. Those updos, oof, ooh, ooh, ooh. Go check it out. Now, speaking of wigs, Dolly Parton, oh my goodness, icon. I read an article, it was pretty much just covering her best looks over the decades, and just going into how iconic and awesome she is, which she obviously is. And the two looks from the bunch that they showed, one of them was, it was either the 60s or the 70s, but it was I call it disco sunshine. She was in this yellow dress, and she was on this round dais, and it looked like she was in some sort of disco club. Just an awesome look and an awesome photograph of her. And then the other one was her at the AMAs, and it was this Circus Ringmaster sequin look that was just fabulous. So, anyway, Dolly Parton, best looks over the years. I can't remember the exact article, but if you just plug those words in, you can see what I'm talking about. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up, because it is a new year with new days and new opportunities, and I am going to take advantage of some of that right now. And something, I believe I mentioned this in the last episode, and it was something I shared with my brother, and it was from a podcast that was on Podbean, and the guest was Jay Shetty, and he mentioned that every year he does these three things. He will learn something, launch something, and love something. And I love that as a good takeaway. Something just to focus on every year is to love, learn, and launch. So I have my ideas in mind of what I'm going to do, and I throw that out there. Use this year as a time to learn something, love something, and launch something. And it could be anything. Maybe you plan to launch a paper airplane, and that's the fun thing that you decide to do for the year. And more power to you. That is very cool. There are a lot of different types of paper airplanes that can be made. I used to think there was only one, but oh no. There are a lot of them, and very well crafted. So this year is about all of our new days to come and the new opportunities that are presented within them. And with that, I say to you, have a very good leading to a very great new year, and enjoy your golden hour.